He was posted at Srinagar, and on 14th December 1971, in the war with Pakistan, there was a bombing raid by 6 Sabre Pakistani fighter aircraft, Sabres, the F-86 aircraft. 6 of them coming in to bomb Srinagar airport airfield and put it out of commission. So when these 6 aircraft came in for their bombing run, there were 2 Indian Nats. There was a very small fighter aircraft called the Nat, which the Indian Air Force had at that time. So there were 2 Nats which were on standby 2, which means that you're parked near the runway, and the moment a call is given to get airborne, the pilots run to the aircraft and they are airborne within 2 minutes. So these 2 aircrafts were on standby 2 that day. And when this bombing run came in, Nirmaljit Singh Sekho and his leader, Flight Lieutenant Ghuman, they were airborne within 2 minutes. Actually, as Sekho was taking off, there were bombs which were falling all around him. And he took off. Within that scenario of falling bombs all around, he climbed into the midst of those 6 fighters. He got separated from his leader. He was alone. So he was 1 fighter aircraft against 6 Pakistani fighter aircraft. Again, it was a situation which meant absolute certain death. There was no way that he would have escaped from that kind of situation. But he took them on. Never had a second thought about what he should be doing. Dived into the fight and shot down 2 Pakistani Sabres out of the 6. And then finally, of course, the inevitable happened, and he was chasing down another aircraft when when a 4th aircraft got on his tail and shot him down. So 25-year-old Nirmaljit Singh Sekho sacrificed his life that day on the 14th of December 1971 for his country, once again in a situation where he knew that it was certain death to be engaging in that combat. But he did it, and for that extreme act of valor and sacrifice, he was awarded the Paramveer Chakra posthumously. So another example, children, of what ordinary people can do in extraordinary situations. And that is what makes a country great. It's not the heroes. None of these people, neither Jaswant Singh Rawat nor Nirmaljit Singh Sekho, I'm sure, would like to be called a hero. They were ordinary people. They were ordinary people like you and me, who did extraordinary things when the requirement was thrust upon them. And that's what we all need to do. That's a lesson that you all need to do, children, need to learn, children. It's a series of ordinary acts that makes you an extraordinary person. Do it with commitment, do it with dedication, do it well, do it to the best of your ability, because believe me, anything that's worth doing is worth doing well. And the worst thing that you can do is to do something half-heartedly. So if you're doing something, whether it is parade, whether it is studies, whether it is sports, whether it is music, do it with all your heart. Do it the best that you can do. And if you fail after that, nobody has a problem with that at all, because you tried and you did your best. Just carry that. That would probably be my message to you, children, today. Do your best, regardless of what happens. If you win, fine. If you don't win, you did your best. Nobody can fault you with that. So whether it is studies, discipline, behavior, music, art, sports, whatever, just be the best person that you can be. Coming to the parade today, well done on that, excellent standards once again, and some of you particularly were extremely good. Some of you, I'm sure, would be right at home in an armed forces parade ground. So that's great. Actually, when I see something like that, it actually gives me goosebumps to see young children like you marching so well, taking so much of pride in what you're doing. And for the ones who are probably not so good, or who have a little bit of doubt in their minds whether they should be doing this or not doing this, let me say that when you see someone marching so well or doing a particular thing so well, it actually, even the person who is watching you, he feels proud of you. And all of us felt proud when you did well. I would like to congratulate the 12th standard particularly for having joined this parade on their own, and it was a great marching display by you boys. Really well done on that. I know you've been completely bogged down with your studies and exams, but it was very good of you to come for the parade on your own without being called, and you put up an excellent show. So that's what it is. It's all about wanting to do something and wanting to do it well. And these two stories that I just told you signify and typify that spirit of wanting to do something well and not willing to settle for second best. Carry that message in your hearts, children, because you have a great lineage, you have a great inheritance from the generations that went before you. My generation has taken the country forward to where it is today, and now it is your turn. The ball is in your court, your generation's court. To take it to greater heights and make it one of the leaders in terms of economic independence, in terms of social justice, in terms of being a wonderful place to live in. You have to create that India, and that is your responsibility. That is the onus that lies on your shoulders. And for that, you have to prepare yourself, because nothing comes without preparation. You have to work hard to prepare yourself to take on that responsibility, to be able to assume that mantle of taking this great country forward. So work hard at your studies, learn, acquire knowledge, do well in your sports culture and in all other things that you do. And above all, learn to be a kind, compassionate, warm-hearted person, because more than anything else, what you need to learn is how to be a good human being. So that is something which each one of you needs to imbibe within yourself. You need to learn how to behave well, how to be polite, how to conduct yourself with dignity in all kinds of situations. You need to respect people who are older than you, because these are the traditions that have been passed on to us from generations. And remember that our culture, the Indian culture, is probably one of the oldest cultures in the world. So there's a lot that has been passed down to us over hundreds and thousands of years. I read somewhere the other day that the Rig Veda is 1200 years old and is probably the oldest known book. So that says something about our culture. So that is the kind of legacy that you are inheriting from generations who have gone before you. So you need to carry that forward. You need to conduct yourself in a way that befits that inheritance. So first and foremost, as I said, respect your country and become a good human being. Prepare yourself well for the challenges ahead. By learning and acquiring knowledge, by preparing yourself to take on whatever it is that you face tomorrow on the path of your lives. I wish you all the very best, and especially to the 12th standard who are appearing for their final exams. Have a great day ahead. Thank you very much.